I'd like to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakwakwadash, which is the Father, the Son, which is the Deliverer, and you know what I'm saying, in Hebrew, Yahweh Shai, the Father whose name is Yahweh, and the Holy Ghost, which is in Hebrew, the Kwakwadash. Alright? Double honors to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone. They rule and teach well. The Lions Den also. And it's your boy Nav, man. I'm just coming back at you with another one. Sitting here, woke up this morning, you know. Last night was the end of the Passover. Hey, shalom to everybody that participated, you know what I'm saying, in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Alright. And I just was watching the news this morning, and man, they coming straight for our neck. Not our neck, but Jake neck. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all with eyes that can see, this whole April 2nd, 2021 NBC News broadcast, man, it's filled, packed, jammed with spiritual things, man. And we just gonna go through some of these things, and I'm break it down to those of y'all who can't see. So hopefully you understand what point of time we in now. All right.
Breaking news tonight, the terrifying vehicle attack at the U.S. Capitol and a police officer killed. The car ramming two officers and slamming into a barrier at the Capitol. The driver jumping out with a knife and lunging at the officers. Police opening fire. One of the officers and the Capitol placed on lockdown, a helicopter landing on the lawn. Later, a police procession for the fallen officer. The deadly incident coming less than 3 months after the riot at the Capitol. What we're learning about the suspect and the reaction from the White House. The new travel guidelines, the CDC saying fully vaccinated Americans can travel safely in the U.S. without tests or quarantine if they wear a mask. Also, the new guidance to resume cruises, but with cases rising again, the new warning this holiday weekend, and the race to herd immunity inside the state leading the way. The first week of testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial, the chief homicide detective testifying that Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd's neck was totally unnecessary, how Floyd's family is reacting, and new fallout from Georgia's new law restricting voting rights, what Major League Baseball announced it's doing in protest.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. There is profound shock and sadness at today's violent death of another Capitol police officer killed during a confrontation that left another officer injured and a suspect shot to death. A tragic and a staggering blow to an agency still traumatized by the loss of their own after the January 6th attack. Today's horror unfolded outside the Senate entrance to the Capitol when a lone man drove his car into the officers and then ran a security barricade before confronting them with a knife, according to police. The driver shot and killed by police. Later, the fallen officer honored by fellow officers, his body driven away in a police procession. Hallie Jackson has late details.
You can see the aftermath of the deadly attack just steps from the Capitol, where a suspect rammed that blue car into a barricade about 100 yards from the Senate entrance.
I've never in my life seen this before.
A helicopter arriving as part of a massive response.
Oh my God.
The National Guard in formation after police say a suspect, identified by 4 senior law enforcement officials as 25-year-old.
Boom, there it is. Look, we got a Jake. Ain't this some shit? Alright. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more because I want to get a point. But this is what's going on right now, man. You got Esau giving out sobs, man. Organized plans, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna see here in a minute that this Jake was supposedly representing the Nation of Islam or a part of the Nation of Islam, and they trying to put 2 and 2 together. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it's gonna come to a point where your religion is basically terrorism. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's coming to a point to, man. And they're trying to get rid of the First Amendment, man. And you're not gonna no longer have freedom of religion, man. Am I right?
Noah Green drove into 2 Capitol Police officers and into that roadblock around 1 this afternoon. The head of Capitol Police says he jumped out of the car holding a knife, ignored commands to stop, and instead started to run aggressively towards the officers. They opened fire, killing the suspect, but not before those 2 officers on scene were hurt and taken to the hospital, with Acting Chief Yogananda Pittman soon after, visibly emotional as she revealed this devastating news.
It is with a very, very heavy heart that I announce one of our officers has succumbed to his injuries.
Officer William Billy Evans, an 18-year veteran of the Capitol Police, killed. A line of squad cars, lights and sirens on, carrying his body to the medical examiner's office in a processional through downtown Washington. It's an almost unthinkable blow for a police force still reeling from what happened January 6th and the deaths of 2 of their own. Today, unlike then, lawmakers are out of town, back home for the Easter holiday. But on a typical day, senators and staff would have used this intersection to get to the Capitol from their office buildings across the street. That's where our own Leanne Caldwell was in lockdown today.
I saw the law enforcement. I just thought to myself, what could be happening again?
Extra fencing, put up after January's insurrection, came down only recently, giving more access to the center of our democracy, and in the heart of Washington, heartbreak tonight. And we are learning late tonight that the other officer who was hit behind me here is in stable and non-life-threatening condition, Lester.
And Hallie, I know they've been following this at the White House. What's the president saying?
Well, President Biden, Lester, has ordered the flags at the White House lowered to half staff and says he and the First Lady are heartbroken. They are grateful to the first responders here. He's been getting regular updates from his Homeland Security advisor and will continue to do so as this investigation goes on. Lester.
All right. Hallie Jackson, thank you. We're learning more tonight about the man investigators say attacked the Capitol Police, including how he recently posted on social media that he was going through a crisis in his life. Justice correspondent Pete Williams has more.
Law enforcement officials say tonight that the driver of this car who attacked police officers with a knife was Noah Green, 25, who'd been living in the Norfolk, Virginia area. Capitol Police say he was unknown to them.
We do not have the suspect on file with U.S. Capitol.
This is the key point right here. And for all y'all brothers that y'all know, I'm from Virginia. So, this is a key point right here. And here in Virginia, you got more of a monkey see, monkey do attitude, man. So if the government feels this way towards the people damn sure feel this way towards the people. And yeah, man, it's getting to a point. They just said he wasn't on their radar. So now they about to bump up. They about to bump up the search, man. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better way of saying it, they about to start looking more into people who they usually wouldn't see as a target, you know, mostly us, you know what I'm saying, the men of the Lord and people in different religions, you know, they about to start cracking down the hammer, because you're gonna see here in a minute that he was word for word a religious man. You know what I'm saying? I guess from the Nation of Islam. And they've been trying to tie us in with, you know what I'm saying, with the Nation of Islam for a long time now, man. They've been trying to tie the Israelites with the Nation of Islam. And they're getting closer and closer to that point. All right? Because like they just said, he was a 25-year-old black man. You know what I'm saying? Who wasn't on the radar. You gonna see that he was recently, he played in college. He played college football like most of us did. All right, and yeah, now what's gonna come from this is they're gonna try to catch things basically before they happen. It's gonna come to a point where they're gonna be trying to predict the outcome of situations based on your religious views and the things that you do and say on social media. All right?
Police, so there's no indication at this time that there's any nexus to any member of Congress.
A biography on the website of the college where he played football says he was born in West Virginia but grew up in Virginia. On his Facebook page, in his last posting a few weeks ago, he said he recently lost his job and wrote, quote, "These past few years have been tough. These past few months have been tougher," adding, "I've been tried with some of the biggest, unimaginable tests in my life." And police say,
yeah, so they say that, okay, they say that, so that caused you to go, it caused you to drive all the way from Virginia to D.C., all right? And, with a street that's usually crowded. Any other day would have been crowded. But because of the so-called holiday weekend, it was empty. And what does he do? He runs into a barricade, hitting two officers, killing one and injuring the other. For what? No fucking reason at all. You know what I'm saying? No fucking reason at all. This is a psyop, man. This shit is planned. There's no way in hell, no man in his right mind, I don't care what the hell you done been through. You could have did anything. There's a million police officers between Virginia and D.C., and you drive all the way from Virginia, Northern Virginia, not even... you drive from, not Northern Virginia, but Norfolk. You drive further south than I am. Shit, I'm about an hour away. You know what I'm saying? From D.C. And you drove all the way from Norfolk, which is 2 hours away from where I'm at, past me all the way up to D.C. with nothing but a knife to run and try to attack two patrol officers? This shit don't make no sense. like it doesn't make any sense talking about, man, this shit is planned. And if you can't see that, your eyes have been closed. You know what I'm saying? According to Matthew chapter 13. You know what I'm saying? You've been blinded. You know what I'm saying? You can't see. All right?
no sign this was a terrorist attack.
It does not appear to be terrorism related, but obviously we'll continue to investigate to see if there's some type of nexus along those lines. Yeah.
Since the January 6th riot, when 139 police officers were attacked and 3 died afterward, security has been much tighter around the Capitol, with anti-climb fencing around the entire building and checkpoints for everyone walking or driving in, and with 2,300 members of the National Guard on duty. Capitol police officers have been working longer shifts too, a duty that's now much more dangerous.
Pete, what are investigators doing tonight to try to figure out the motive?
Well, they're going through his social media, they're talking to friends and family members, they're working to trace his movements in the hours and days leading up to the attack.
And those are not credible sources, man. If you as we all know, man, the government can you can go if you on Facebook and you make a post, after you make the post, it's a little button where you can edit shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And the government could definitely edit anything you say on there, especially after your death. The government can edit anything that you say online and try to twist your words around. All right, and then they say they go and ask friends and family. All right, and if you know Jake could take a bribe. So what's to stop the government from bribing Jake, so-called family of this person, to say the wrong shit? At the end of the day, if the right amount of money, Jake could say anything. Why? Because in their head, he already dead. Can't no more harm come to him. Man, it's all a setup, man. It's all a setup. All right? And as the setup is, they about to come down on us with the hammer, man. The day after, man, this shit's crazy. They about to come down on us with the hammer. And if you can't see it, you're blinded. And I feel sorry for you.
And they're also looking tonight into clues that he did have some mental health issues. Lester?
All right, Pete Williams in our Washington newsroom. Thank you.
commercial.
The killing of Officer Evans sent yet another chill through the country and highlighted the dangers facing Capitol Police. The force now forced to deal with another loss of one of their own. Here's Casey Hunt.
The acting chief of the Capitol Police with this plea tonight.
Again, I ask you to please keep the United States Capitol Police family in your thoughts and prayers.
The agency reeling after losing Officer William Billy Evans, an 18-year member of the force, part of the...
And this another thing, man. I think the National Guard was supposed to be leaving out of the capital area this month. All right? Either this month or next month, they were supposed to be leaving the area. But now that they came with this situation, I can guarantee you they're going to prolong it for another 3-4 months. All aside, man, all this shit come together for those who can see it.
Capitol Division's First Responders Unit. It's another one of their own. Evans' death just weeks after Officer Brian Sicknick lay in honor. He died after the January 6th insurrection. Another officer, Howard Liebengood, died by suicide. Rioters that day explicitly targeting officers. In the aftermath of the riot, officers working 18-hour shifts 6 days a week for weeks on end to maintain tighter security.
Today is just another example of what they do every day for us to put their lives on the line, and officers across the country.
Casey, you cover Capitol Hill for us. Officer Evans, I understand, is someone you saw regularly.
Lester, Officer Evans was a familiar face to me and to so many others who work at the Capitol every day. He was always friendly, quick with a smile or a hello. And lately, after the insurrection, senators, aides, reporters at the Capitol would often stop to tell Officer Evans and his colleagues, thank you. And today, he died manning the barricade to keep us all safe. Lester.
Yeah, man, you know Esau, man, they paint that great picture of any Edomite that ever walked the earth. He was the greatest man that ever lived. You know, he used to bring cookies and treats for us. You know what I'm saying? We used to tell him thank you. Probably ain't never talked to that man day in their life. Lying, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. The case is, they about to come down on us with the hammer, man. Because this is 3 deaths in the past, 4 months that's happened on the Capitol. You know? They about to... It's an evil eye towards us, man. And they also got, at the same time, what Esau's looking at us sideways, which they always was, but now out in the open. They're bumping up on Moab, you know what I'm saying? These Oriental groups, man. The Asiatic groups, man. They're bumping up on them, man, trying to make it out to where we're looked at as thugs and, you know what I'm saying, gangsters, which has already been the case, but it's like it's reamped, you know what I'm saying? With this stop the hate bullshit that's going on. All right. And I think Joe Biden signed something, you know what I'm saying, talking about like an order talking about no hate on the Asians and shit. When has he ever signed an order of no hate on the so-called blacks, natives, and Latinos? Never. You know why? Because we're the true children of Yasharala. And they would never do that for us. Why? Because they hate us, bro. It's a perpetual hatred. All right? And if you didn't know, now you know.
All right, thank you, Casey. Joining me now is former New York City Police Commissioner Bill Bratton. Bill, in this case, the officers did their job. They stopped the suspect, but does each successive attack or entry make it more?
And just a little another thing, man, because in any other situation, if it was any other race or ethnicity that tried this act, they would have apprehended the suspect. He had nothing but a knife. They would have apprehended the suspect and took him for questioning. That's never the case when you see Jake, man. When you act out, your ass getting fired on. All right? And I want you to know that. You should already know that, but I'm guessing some of y'all don't. Let me be the first one to tell you. If you do anything to this so-called devil, white man, he will eradicate your ass. All right? He will get rid of you. No questions asked. And then he gonna use your death for their own agenda.
an attractive target for others.
It actually does at the same time, and hopefully will expedite Congress getting its act together to come up with a definitive plan how to best protect the Capitol and the people who work there, as well as the thousands of visitors that would normally go there.
Yeah, I mean, these buildings are symbols of our democracy, known for their openness, but will we have to accept and rethink this idea of security that maybe what we saw post-January 6th will be the norm?
I think you're going to see a significant step up in security, but there's ways you can do that aesthetically in the sense of the fencing, the various barricades that need to be used, but you don't want to make Washington, D.C. Moscow. There really has to be a way to secure the Capitol and the people that work there without effectively making it into a fortress.
Yeah, man, they talk about ramping up, just like I told y'all, they ramping up security when they were supposed to be taking it all away. All right, now they're gonna reamp it, you know. And I just want to get this scripture right quick, man, because it seems to these people like they think that we violent people, and it's for you Jakes too, man, for you thinking that you a violent person and whatnot. We not violent people, man. This is what we're supposed to be doing right here. And it says, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Verse 12, this is what I wanted to get. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. All right? And what does that mean, man? That means we ain't out here gun-toting, pistol-packing, knife holding. That's not us, man. That's not what we out here to do. We not out here to get no revenge, no reparations, none of that shit. All right? But what do? We battle against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness. And who are the rulers of darkness, man? These elites, man. You know what I'm saying? These banking systems. These operations that are against Jake, man. All right? We're out here to talk against these wicked powers, man, to place these wicked ass laws into place that has allowed everything from the point of slavery now on to happen. We're here to battle against that. You know what I'm saying? And you can't battle against that with Esau's weapon. Because Esau was given the power of the sword. I'm talking to those who don't know. Because I know y'all brothers know. But to the ones who watch me that don't know, we're not here to fight with guns. Can't no gun save you, bro. Can't no gun, no knife, no weapons can save you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because your power is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, whether you know it, want to believe it or not. All right? So we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, man. We not out here to fight to fight nobody, you know what I'm saying? We're not out here to be doing physical things against physical people, because we're spiritual people, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we fight against what? Spiritual wickedness in high places. All right? Because the tongue hurt worse than anything, man. Cut them with the tongue, man, because you wasn't given the power of the sword. And if you try to use the power of the sword and you continue to use the power of the sword, you're going to die by the power of the sword. All right? Let me go back to the video.
That can, in fact, be done.
All right, Bill Bratton, thank you for being with us. In just 60 seconds, critical new testimony against the former police officer on trial on the killing of George Floyd and the new guidance.
I'm going to skip this George Floyd part because, in a nutshell, with this George Floyd situation, what's happening is they trying to use Jake on emotion. You know what I'm saying? They playing out, they in this case, they dragging it along so you get your attention to it, so you start paying more attention to it, right? And then once everybody's paying attention in the heat of the moment, they gonna make y'all upset. and then you go, hey, you go, Jake, want to ride? You know what I'm saying? And you don't think they preparing for that? You know what I'm saying? We about to go back on the fourth lockdown. You know what I'm saying? The fourth wave or whatever they want to call this shit. You don't think they plotting on us, man? And I'm talking to y'all that like to go out there and protest this shit. You take your ass out there and protest if you want to this time. They gonna fire your ass up. Cause Esau getting more and more wicked by the day, man. You know what I'm saying? They setting y'all up for a swift fall, man, and they playing with your emotions with this case right here. So if you was to take my advice, man, hey, let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't going to do nothing but bring you more hurt. At the end of the day, the man is dead. Yes, I'm not saying we happy because he dead or you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying fuck him. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is be smart about it, man. This shouldn't cause you to go do no dumb shit that's going to put anybody that's alive, any other Jake that's alive in more harm's way. You got to be thinking about the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing, man. You can't just be doing what you want to do off your emotions, because you know what I'm saying? It's not going to work that way, man. At the end of the day, what the hell is riding and going to hurt somebody going to do about this man being dead, man? You know what I'm saying? It ain't the first time white people, Esau's been killing our kind. Shit, back in the lynching time, you catch a lynching every weekend. They used to let out school to go lynch us, man. Everybody used to gather around, get picnics to watch us being lynched. You think this shit bad? Man, y'all boys don't know the half of it, man. But it's going to get way worse. I'm just trying to tell y'all so y'all can know what the fuck's going on. Because it seems like y'all ain't got the eyes to see this shit. So let me be the first to tell you all this shit. Now, whether you take heed to it, is on you. You know what I'm saying? But I told you.
On air travel.
I'm going to skip this part. I want to get to the air travel part.
Weekend, concern tonight that super spreader events could undermine progress against the pandemic, leading to a potential
Is now relying on law enforcement testimony.
Salakia,
Advising law enforcement agents to say that they...
Yeah, Gutierrez, thank you. Now to the COVID crisis and new CDC guidance on travel. While still urging Americans against non-essential travel, those fully vaccinated are now considered low risk. But Tom Costello reports there's concern about this holiday weekend.
Heading into the Easter weekend, concern tonight that super spreader events could undermine progress against the pandemic, leading to a potential fourth wave, as nearly 900 people are still dying every day. Crowds expected from beaches to backyards.
And the news pissed me off too, man. Because look, I'm sorry I keep pausing these videos, but I got to say something, man. Talk about 900 people die every day. When really and truly, you know what I'm saying? It's way more people that die than that every day, and they using this as we already knew it was gonna happen. They using this vaccine thing. You know what I'm saying? To I said the word. They using this thing to I hope they don't give me no strike, man. They giving this thing out to all those who want to take it, because it's about to come to a point where those of you who don't have the jab are going to be outcasts. All right? You're not going to be able to commute. You're not going to be able... It's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to buy or sell certain, you know what I'm saying, things. You know? And it's about to get bad for those of you who refuse to take the jab. All right? And this is the point. The point is, anything that Esau ever pushed upon us has never been for our benefit. So what in the halibut makes you think this one is? You know? It's a shame. And people always used to say in school, they be like, man, if I was a slave back then, I would have ran. No, the hell you wouldn't have. You out here taking the jab now. I know you ain't run back then. Why? Because you didn't know you was a slave. You know? You ain't know no better. All right? But
Reports nationwide, a year of cabin fever quickly turning into the Great Escape. 1.5 million air travelers on Thursday alone. With 22% of U.S. adults now fully vaccinated, the CDC, still recommending against non-essential travel, is also offering new travel guidelines. Fully vaccinated need to be tested.
a double-minded man. They say they're against non-essential travel, but at the same time they making non-travel new rules. What's going on, man?
Before or after traveling in the U.S., unless their destination requires it, and there is no need to self-quarantine.
Fully vaccinated grandparents can fly to visit their healthy grandkids without getting a COVID-19 test or
Internationally, many countries are still restricting travel, but the CDC says those who are fully vaccinated and do travel internationally do not need to get a COVID test before leaving the U.S. unless required by their destination. Those passengers should get a negative test before returning to the U.S., but they don't need to quarantine when they get home. Also tonight, with air travel picking up, airlines are starting to do away with many of the waivers they'd issued for ticket change fees during the pandemic.
Airlines right now are starting to roll back these waivers on the cheapest.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, man. There's no reason for any of y'all jakes to be traveling international. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you going international for? What you got to go over there for? Alright? Unless it's business, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm guessing maybe some brothers got some business internationally. I don't know. I don't know why you would have any business internationally unless you got something to do with the government. Alright? But there's no reason for y'all to be doing these things, man. And a true man of the Lord, man, you know he not taking the jab, man. You know? And it should be easy for you not to take the jab because you don't do nothing no way. All you do is study these scriptures, read, you know what I'm saying, process these scriptures, spread these scriptures, and live by these scriptures. That's the only thing you need to be doing. Everything else is folly, man. All right? But I'm going to stop it right here, man. As you can see, the main purposes of this video is pointed towards Jake. Because Jake don't want to take the jab. Jake, in the second one with the George Floyd case, they edging on Jake, you know what I'm saying? With this case that's going on right now, trying to play with your emotions. In the first one, the first clip, what was it? It was oh yeah, the thing that just went down at the Capitol, putting the bad name on you, man, putting smut on your name. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, taking away the religious views, man, from Jake, saying that most religious Jake are bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep saying that word because they might give me a strike for it. T-Raris. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, man. They trying to label us as that for those of us who have religious beliefs. All right? But like I said, man, this video was just for you so you can see it through what it really is, man. Because it's never how they saying it, man. It's always something extra. If you're not spiritually discerned, man, you can't see it. You would have looked at this news broadcast and just would have been going along with everything they saying. But as you can see, that's just not the case. But I hope this video was edifying, man. Hey, till the next one. Hey, man, shalom.